Hello, you are with the Movie Cap channel. Today you will hear a short story of the movie White God. Don't forget to rate the video and share with your friends. At the beginning of the film, a girl on a bicycle is wandering around an empty city. Suddenly a large pack of dogs starts chasing her, and then the events take us back to the previous situation. This girl's name is Lilia and she is playing with her dog named Hagen. Lilia's mother leaves Australia for a while and leaves her daughter with her butcher father. For some reason, the slaughterhouse shows us all the entrails of animals. After the divorce, Lilia's parents decide to take turns taking care of their daughter. But Lilia's father is not used to keeping dogs at home, and when he is forced to bring Lilia and Hagen home, her rude neighbor asks for the dog's legal papers. Her father walks into the house, saying that he will show the certificate later, and during dinner, Lilia feeds Hagen from her plate. His father saw his work and told him that in his house there is separate food for people and separate animals. After the meal, the girl's father locked Hagen in the toilet and explained to his daughter that this is the right place for the dog. At night, the dog begins to howl and whine from loneliness. Lilia goes to the bathroom and starts blowing the horn to silence the dog. The dog calms down and Lilia falls asleep in the bathroom. Of course, this night's concert doesn't go unnoticed and the dog handler is called to Lily's father's apartment in the morning. Before the dog can bite the neighbors, the special officer requires the dog to be registered and paid for. Lilia's father basically refuses to pay for her because the dog belongs to his wife and he promises the dog won't be here until the next inspection comes. Lilia takes Hagen to nature and promises to always treat him well. After a while, Lilia takes him to the orchestra practice and hides him in the hall. Lilia says that despite her partner, she left the dog at home and training has begun. The dog will certainly jump at the most important moment and attract the attention of the conductor angrily promises not to take it back. Lily walks around town in a depressed mood. His father drops him on the road and takes them away together. In the car, Lilia and her father have a serious conversation. Lilia does not want to be without a dog, and her father does not want to pay for a dog. His father intends to take Hagen to a shelter for a while. Lily says that Hagen can't live there. He tries to get his father from his not agreeing to her father's proposal. Lilia drags her into the car and leaves without the dog. The girl asks him to wait for a while, promising that she will return soon. Hagen runs after the car and falls behind as girl's father speeds off. Hagen is left alone on the street and is almost run over by a car, not knowing what to do. In the evening, Lilia decides to return him, but her father stops her. The next day, Hagen drinks muddy water and goes for a walk around town. Here, new aspects of the world open up for him, and he begins to adapt to street life. For example, when the signal is given at the intersection, he crosses the road with people and goes around the market for a piece of meat, where he sees another dog. This dog was part of a pack of strays that swarmed with other strays until the butcher chased them away. Hagen stays inside and the butcher promises to rip out. There he is looking for him, armed with a butcher knife. He tries to kill Hagen, but the little dog grabs the butcher again, and Hagen manages to escape with his new friend. Hagen goes to Suvorov Street, but the dogs do not accept him there. Therefore, he and his partner have to watch the pack of dogs from a safe distance until morning. In the morning, the animal handlers come and try to trap the dogs. Several of the dogs there manage to escape, but Hagen is captured. He flirts with one of the employees in the corner, but a small dog warns Hagen of danger. Then he manages to escape through the bars and he runs around the city afraid of being trapped and some homeless man hides him under his rags. When the trapping service goes away, the most cunning dogs come out of hiding. A homeless man wants to take the Hagen with him and show him who's boss. Lilia arrives at the orchestra practice again, led by her father, and is forced to say that she will not take care of any more animals. Her father tells her that he kicked out her dog and pleads with her daughter to take part in training again. The conductor takes him back to rehearsals, and after rehearsals, Lilia spreads paper with Hagen's picture all over the city, looking for his dog everywhere. A drunk woman decides to help her and continues the evening party with her friends, leaving Lilia alone. A homeless man talks to a restaurant owner to exchange Hagen for a plate and money. For the dog, this gentleman promises £2,000 and a plate of food. Hagen is accosted by other dogs around him and a new buyer comes and buys him for $150,000. His master says about the dog's politeness and kindness, but Hagen was needed for the buyer. After a while, Hagen's new owner brings him home and gives him protein and chemical. As a result, the Hagen becomes more rude and predatory. The owner beats him mercilessly and trains him with all kinds of exercises. Lilia speaks cruelly to the conductor, which motivates her to practice extra after class. But actually the conductor sees a new talent in the girl. Hagen's owner gives him something and the dog feels different. After that he gets angry enough to please his master. Lilia is still looking for Hagen even after 1 month. This woman insists that such dogs should not be left on the street, and at that moment someone takes the girl's bicycle and runs away. Later in the evening, Hagen's owner brings him to a dogfight, and no one takes him seriously because he seems weak to people. During the fight in the arena, Hagen grabs his opponent by the neck and gives him no chance and wins. The owner of the arena offers good money for the dog, but we see the dog run away in the next shots. Lilia goes there in search of a friend she met in the club, and a young man helps her find her acquaintance. He tells the girl that he will help her in exchange for bringing powder inside, and Lilia agrees to go inside. The young man leaves Lilia alone in front of the adults, and she falls asleep there after drinking an intoxicating drink. Police officers conduct an evening search and find drugs near Lilia. Seeing the results of the analysis, the father noticed that the girl was positive, treated his daughter well and shed tears. He is afraid of losing his daughter and allows her to raise an animal in his house, but Lilia does not want it. Hagen first arrives at a dog meeting place where he sees an old acquaintance. They then walk together and suddenly they are surrounded and captured by the animal capture team. The boys take them to the animal den, and since Hagen's leg was injured in the fight yesterday, no one dares to go near him to treat him. Hagen and several other dogs are sitting in a special room. They are watching a cartoon about Tom and Jerry. Through the open door, Hagen sees the dogs being injected with sleeping pills before being taken away in a black bag. The cage prevents Hagen from being rescued. At this time, the father prepares his daughter for a concert and takes Lilia away. After a while, a girl approaches Hagen, but he is thrown at her. A female guard watching this tells him that it's all over. To put Hagen to sleep, one of the guards takes him out of his cage. Realizing his own death, Hagen breaks free from the guard's control and grabs the guard by the neck. For the first time, a pack of dogs will see a friend who calms down a person. Hagen leaves and the rest of the dogs follow. Hagen manages to knock out the guard on the way, and at the same time the pack of dogs starts to run away. Soon, people panic when they see a pack of dogs. They surrounded the concert hall because they were attracted. The music of Tom and Jerry heard in the dog shelter played in the concert hall. The panic begins. Lilia and her partner try to escape from there. The conductor warns him of danger and blames him on. He travels around the capital on a bicycle and his head repeats itself. The dogs chase after her and Lily falls, but the dogs don't touch her because they have more important things to do. Hagen's owner sees his dog and tries to take it with him, but Hagen refuses and is attacked by a pack of dogs. Lilia continues to search for Hagen, not knowing that he is dangerous. On the way, he sees a brutally murdered man. Police officers examine the body and notice that all the dogs have bitten him. Lily comes out of hiding and continues her search for Hagen. He sees pieces of meat on the road, smells. Lilia calls her father and tells him to look for Hagen until morning when he sees the small, harmless-looking dog. At this point the police soon gather and start shooting at the dogs. Hagen stops them and encourages them to move in a different direction. A dog trainer sits at home and hears the news of a well-established curfew. When the trainer leaves for a short time, the dogs quietly make their way to his apartment. Opening the door, the coach finds out that his room is full of hidden dogs. He tries to defend himself, but it does not help him. They let him in. Then Hagen appears with pomp and finishes with him. Although he asks her to help the little dog, During continues to move and as a result, takes several shots. They deal with the conductor professor, but the dog's deceptive tricks make them an awkward target. Dogs are attacking houses one by one. He realizes that his father will be next and runs to the slaughterhouse where he finds his father who has locked himself in the building. When the dogs realized that Lilia would come here, they locked her father in the room. Suddenly, Hagen appears there, and when building, Lilia tries to escape from them. When the dog is ready to startle Lilia, the girl's father comes out with a fire in his hand. The girl ignores her father and refuses to go inside and plays soft music to calm the dogs. As Lilia continues to play music, Hagen begins to calm down as he sits on the floor listening to her. Even the dogs that followed him began to calm down under the influence of the music. After finishing her music, Lilia lays down in front of Hagen and looks at him with tears in her eyes. Lilia's acquaintance tells her father not to call the police and to give the girl a chance. Then we witness a girl lying face down on the pavement and a pack of dogs. That was it for today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell button. Always treat animals well.